Hello everybody, I'm going to be so quick because we have a lot to discuss regarding this relationship of Liam Neeson and Pamela Andrews. They have been confirmed to be dating, but Liam Neeson has said that they are going out enjoying each other's times, and of course it was a matured answer from a matured individual. And he's 73 years old now and she's 58 years old. Now, if you look at their synastry from a standard synastry point of view, then you can say this is not a good relationship. This is a bad relationship, so to speak. There's no bad and good, but there's a lot of challenges in their relationship. But then this would be from a standard point of view, so it's the global outlook that you get and that you will hear from a lot of people that will be doing a synastry of their chart. Their chart is definitely not the best at all, but then there is a reason why this is okay, and as a synastry expert I would say it's okay to do. First of all, let's start with the standard synastry and show you why many people would say it's bad or will say it's bad. First of all, they have a square of their Venus. That's a first challenge, because how you express each other's love, if it's not the same and if it's giving challenges, it becomes difficult to receive it. And most of the time, looking at her Venus, it is in Leo. Remember, I'm using sidereal, and for her Venus is definitely about being expressive, literally throwing herself into a relationship. This is how she loves. This is her style of loving, giving her all to the relationship. Whereas looking at his own chart, his Venus is in Taurus. It is about stability and having a relationship, security, definitely, for sure. And he may be reserved most of the time, because this is a fixed sign and it's very calm, so he could be feeling all the love he's feeling, but then unable to express it outwards, in a bold way, as compared to the Leo showy out there vibration, right? So, but then overall they are both in good signs for family, because both signs, Taurus and Leo, they are about family. They want to create a life. They want to promote the continuation of family and children. So they both big on family. Now, however, when I look closely, before I dive in, let's continue with the standard synastry. And they also have an in conjunction of their moons. Moon is about how we feeling, how we express our feelings, our mindset, how we express that, and how we receive somebody's expressions. Or do we feel offended? Are we moody? How is our mood around this person? And for them, they have an in conjunction, which is very difficult. This is one of those critical aspects that I know for sure it is going to give a problem in a relationship, because in her way she's very individualistic. She's very independent in expressing how she feels, and she prefers to go what her heart desires, and in terms of him, he's very reserved, again, because this is a Scorpio moon, so he likes to analyze things and just think about it, feel it deeply without necessarily needing to express it outwards. So, but then again, there's another good and beautiful thing here. Why? Because they both ruled by Mars. Aries and Scorpio are both ruled by Mars, so both of their moons have the same Lord, so they have the same underlying of passion and understanding what it is to go after what you want. The other person, again, it goes back to what I just talked about regarding their Venuses, that one is reserved and the other one is out there, showy, bold, right? So, and then another thing, so in this context, like, you remember when you are, this is why I say you cannot use the same aspect for everyone. If you do that, you will tell your clients the wrong information, because just like I just showed now, when it comes to their Venuses, I also looked at the houses and I saw what the house is about. And then when it comes to their moons, I'm looking at the lords as well, and I see that the lords is the same lord. So in that context, you can agree to say, okay, this one, it is easy to work towards when it comes to this in conjunction. Now remember, my class is going to be starting very soon, because Mercury is going to go straight forward on the 11th. So my class will be opened, and I do have a number of people on the wait list, and so I hope that you will be able to log in, and no problems will be there in terms of the technology. Now, when I'm looking at their like regarding to the Venus, her Venus to his moon, I'm finding a semi-sextile here. So I'm finding a semi-sextile of her Venus to his moon. I'm finding a semi-sextile of her Mercury to his Mercury, Mars to his Mars, a moon to his Venus. So I'm sun to his sun. So I'm having a lot of semisextiles. Now, when I talk about semisextiles, you remember with semisextiles, some semisextiles are very good and some sextiles are dire. It depends on on the planets that you're working with. So like from these semisextiles that I'm seeing here, because they have 5 of those, right? 2 of them are super good, super good, and then the other ones are workable, right? And then they have 1 which is critical, which is not acceptable at all, right? And then they also have squares, again, challenges like having to work together, having to sacrifice quite a lot. But these people are older, matured, and they have lived out their charts. This is where it becomes important to note the progression, because when I look at their progression, I have a whole new story. I have a whole new dynamic of their relationship. But before I go into that, let's go into the overlays. Now, I know I'm going over so quickly because I want to speak faster today, because there's a lot of information I don't want to forget. Now, looking at their overlays, I have a problem, or I would have had a problem with their overlays if they were younger and if their children were younger. But then their children are older and they both are also matured. So that is also giving grace when it comes to their chart. So why would I be worried? Because he places his Saturn in her 5th house. Why is it a problem? Because there is Mars here and he's bringing also Neptune. What it means to me is that typically this would create a strife between himself and her children, or between her children and herself. So because of him being in the picture, there would be a problem. So basically there would be a problem regarding the kids here, a huge problem, and it would be a continuous problem. Even if they fix it for some time, it would come back again. But we have to look at the progression, because things do progress, and because of the progression, and the kids are older and they both matured. This is why when you look at the progression, you see the difference of where these people are in their lives, and you cannot just say, oh no, this chart is bad, but then what is the progression? How have they progressed in life, right? And similarly, she's placing her Chiron, Saturn and Lilith in his own 5th house, again indicating some strife with the kids, problems with the children, just problems relating to kids. And because there's Lilith there, if she were younger, she would have wanted to have kids to commit as part of the commitment of this relationship. So having children would have been part of the puzzle here. It is highly indicated, but because they work together and they are matured, now those children become projects. So maybe they have lots of projects that they can do together and they want to do together, and they will continue to do together. Now when it comes to the part of the kids, again, as I said, the kids are older and they both matured. Now his certain has progressed, and because his certain has progressed, it is no longer concerned much about the part of the kids. It is rather now concerned about having projects together, being in the media. So it is also highly indicating to me that this could have been an organized relationship whereby they both agree that at this stage in our lives, in order to push our personalities or our projects, we need to form a relationship, a working relationship. Why am I saying that? It is obviously due to this progressing certain overlaying in her third house of entrepreneurial shape of her media and all of these things. But at the same time, it is also in their composite chart, which I will not be showing here, but I did it alone. In their composite chart, they have a composite ascendant of Virgo, and Virgo is about work, is about the daily life, is about what we do, to push our job. So which obviously correlates to the third house certain that is overlaying there, bringing out that entrepreneurial project or media relating responsibilities and all of these things. And everything is alleged, by the way, from the get-go. Everything's alleged speculation. I'm using just astrology here. Now openings are for booking are open. You can book your session, and I will be giving free readings to the people there are people who sent me messages, emails. It's been like I have them for like a month now. When I started to open up the wait list, so there are a lot of people who were giving me their information and telling me stories, and I had promised that I would be giving that as part of the onboarding, like when they pay for the course. But I've changed my mind. I will be responding and giving free reading for those people, right? And then yeah, but anyway, going back to here. So now as I said, they matured now, so having children will not be probably one of the main things that she wants. But then in separate terms, this would have been a definite need for her. Now when it comes to the whole situation, I do see that she benefits a whole lot from this from this relationship or whatever agreement, right? She 100% gains a whole lot, huge things from being with him. But at the same time, it is not for nothing, because he himself, he gets exposure, he gets more jobs, he gets more respect, he gets more status. Why? Because she overlays her Venus, fortune, Pluto and Uranus in his 10th house of public image, public status, profession. So basically she is harmonizing his image right now. And of course, maybe if he was being forgotten, now they can't forget him, they won't forget him, because he is bringing her Venus and fortune, luck, Pluto as well, a transformation, Uranus and all of these things for him. Now the thing is that because he's got his Ketu conjunct with her Venus, again for him it could literally be about he doesn't care much, he's like okay, we have to do this, okay, let's do this, you know. Or we have to do it for work, or okay, let's do it. We have to do it for public appearance, okay, okay, cool. Like he's not so much invested in terms of the love aspect, like in terms of, you know, the feelings and oh my gosh, I have butterflies in my stomach or whatever, right? So but then why are they together? I do see that, you know, now of course we are getting the confirmations that they're together because of their progressing Venuses, and they do have their progressing Venuses opposite each other, and at the same time, you know, her progressing Venus is attached to his moon, which is on his ascendant. As I said, if a progressing Venus is meeting your Venus or meeting Saturn or meeting your ascendant or aspecting it, then there will be a relationship starting, something new, something positive when it comes to the relationship. And normally this is why I said it would also be about kids, but because they're older and they have those progressions that have come into their life, so for them it is about projects and doing more projects together. Now going back to their composite ascendant, which is Virgo, as I said, what is their purpose? Because most of the time when I want to see the purpose of a relationship, I always go to the composite chart, even if the client does not ask me, but I do it so that I can be sure of why these people are together. So for that, I get it from the composite chart most of the time, in terms of seeing what they can do together as a couple. And in their case, it is definitely about work. It is really reserved in terms of emotions. There won't be emotional display too much. That is clear. They have an intellectual connection, high intellectual connection, and they do show, you know, the thinker. So they think everything that they have to do, they will think about it, they will plan about it. And I do see that some of the things they would prefer not to be public about it, you know, to keep some private life. But because of her Pluto and Uranus in his 10th house, she could expose some of his things that he doesn't necessarily want to be exposed, but at the same time they could just be exposed just by being with her, you know, without her saying anything, but just by being with her. And it would be sudden thing, you know. And what I do see is that you know, they could be lost in their world sometimes, you know, just them together or planning or whatever, right? And you know, the Virgo sign can be a bit superficial, and I do know that a lot of people, they know they know the advertised marketing traits of zodiac signs. So you know, that's why I get some negative comments sometimes, because I understand that many people, they know about the marketed side, the popular side of the zodiac signs, but Virgo can be superficial. And in this instance, in their case, their composite ascendant does show a superficial appearance that they have to place forward, but it's also a cooperation type of a thing, very, very diplomatic. It's more like, you know, we're doing this to follow the culture, or we're doing this to be artistic, you know. So yeah, but they definitely a graceful a pair, couple, because of their nakshatra that this Virgo sign is in. So in terms of their appearance and their appearance to us, I don't know why I'm thinking, Mercury retrograde, right? So my mind as well is all over the place. This is why I wanted to speak as quickly as I could, so that I don't forget the things that I wanted to talk about. Now, going to their progressions again, because this is very important. As I said, I do see that she's going to gain quite a lot of things from this relationship. not only in public status or projects, but also in fortune, because he places his fortune, Venus, Mercury, Sun directly on her ascendant, and these bring money and wealth directly to her. I do see that he also places his moon in her 7th house. With this, normally there would be a need to have a project that they nurture together. As I said, it would have been a child if they were of age, but then a project in terms of now looking at their age and the progressions of other things. At the same time, there could also be some need to marry, and a need to have a business together if it's not marriage. But as I said, I see a contract between them. I do see a high indicated contract due to his Mercury and Sun being conjunct with her ascendant. So there are papers that they would have signed in order to have this relationship, and particularly because of his progressing Saturn in her 3rd house. I do see that, and my voice is starting to leave now. What else did I want to say before it just disappears altogether without taking a break? I did want to talk about his health. I do see that after the age of 75, particularly after 77, 78, you could start to have some health problems, and it could be sudden things, or maybe an incident, so I do see that coming up. And of course, he's of age now, so of course he's going to take care of himself, so yeah, that's just one thing I want to talk about. And I do see some good life for Pam. Like for Pamela, this is wonderful, this is perfect, this is what a girl needs. Like, this is what a girl needs. Like, if I'm advising Pamela and she's my client, I'm saying, Pamela, this is the right move for you in all aspects, for sure, at this time. And they should just she should just really enjoy. She should just really enjoy. So that's it for now, in terms of Pam and Liam. And so basic synastry, basic standard synastry, we would say no. I would say no, but looking at the progression, this is good. Pamela, this is nice. And for him at this time, because of his Ketu and his progressions, he is literally just living it up, like just going with the flow. So with that said, I don't want to talk about their sex life. I mean, who cares at this? After you've lived right, you've experienced life right, and as I said, in terms of their basic synastry, it would have been not a good one, but then who cares? Really, they just enjoying their life, so we shouldn't care about what's happening in their bedroom at all. We shouldn't. And I don't know why I brought it up, because really it's none of our business at all. I'll chat to you soon. Be in touch.